Hello everyone, welcome back to The Morning Moment. Today's episode is brought to you by many sleepless nights because I can't go to sleep until I've played a round of Gwent. Today we are going to talk about my current obsession, which is The Witcher. Now, I know what everyone's thinking, of course the Netflix show's out right now, that's why you're talking about The Witcher. Technically, that is accurate, but not exactly in the way that I would immediately assume in my own head. You see, I have actually tried to play The Witcher 3. I'm a fake fan, I haven't played The Witcher 1 or 2. I haven't read the books, I really want to, but I have only played The Witcher 3, and I haven't even beaten it yet. But, I'm getting ahead of myself, let's take a step back. The Witcher show came out on Netflix, and the wife and I tried to watch it. And, it was okay, it was pretty good, but season 1 sort of for us, personally. It's a good show, and I completely understand the people that love it. And when season 2 came out, we finally did sit down and watch through all of season 1 and all of season 2. And it was about 3 episodes before the end of season 2 that I finally decided that I would go back to The Witcher 3 and try to play it again. Because I am such a sucker for well-written lore. And getting ahead of myself again. We'll get to that. So I sit down and I play it, and this is my third attempt to play through The Witcher 3. The first 2 times, I never made it out of White Orchard, which is essentially the tutorial area of the game, where it sets you up for a lot of different elements of the game, and your decisions mattering, etc., etc. Now, the first 2 times I played it, I distinctly remember that I stopped playing at the same point both times. Because of that, I completely avoided that side quest this time. It was the one where you help the guy find his dead brother among the corpses. And if that doesn't sound exciting and you're not familiar with The Witcher, boy, let me tell you, this game does not pull punches. I would love to make videos about it, I would love to stream about it, but I can't because YouTube doesn't like the kind of content that The Witcher provides. Whether it be the more provocative side of things, or whether it be the more dark side of things. The game doesn't hold back. It is brutal in both its descriptions and the way that it makes you feel. In my opinion, not everybody will have the same experience when they try to play the game, but okay, so anywho, I finally get hooked. I get absolutely hooked on The Witcher 3 to the point where now, when the wife goes to sleep at night, I will get back up and sneak into the office and play more of The Witcher 3 before going to sleep and waking up early for work the next day. I love this game, and I cannot wait to beat it. The ending may be terrible, for all I know. I don't know at this point, but what I do know is that this is some of the best video game writing that I have experienced on a quest-by-quest basis. There's another YouTuber by the name of Joseph Anderson, and if you don't know that name and you're watching this channel, I'm not sure how that's possible, but there's a link in the description. Go watch that channel. Every single video is amazing, but the videos that are relevant to this conversation are a breakdown of The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2, the games. And together, those videos are about 10 hours, and it is incredible. It is amazing content, and I've watched both of those videos multiple times now. But all of that to say, this game has some lore, and it has some decisions that you can make, and those decisions sometimes carry over. Think Mass Effect if you're not familiar with the Witcher games, but better? That's a very subjective thing for me to say, and it's going to depend on who you are, but for me, the choices that I've been making throughout the quest lines in The Witcher 3 feel more real than most other RPG games that I've played. It is not every day that I'll play through a quest line in a game, thinking that it's just going to be another casual fetch quest, go get the MacGuffin, come back, etc. And then end up killing the character that I was helping, even though I quite liked that character and I didn't want it to end that way, but at the end of the day, it would have been, in my opinion, immoral to let... I don't want to spoil anything. The point is, when I finished that side quest in the game, I had to sit back and not play and not think and not do anything for about 15 minutes while I just processed the fact that this video game just tricked me into such a heavy decision that it was glorious. It was such a well-written event. And for those that are interested, I'm talking about. And I was not aware at the time of any other options that could be done throughout that quest line. So, based on what I'm saying, you probably know the decision that was made. But, it's a good game. It's a good series. It's good lore. If I were to nitpick, there are a couple things that I could nitpick about it, but the primary one that irks me is some of the monster design, which isn't fair because monster design is so subjective and it varies wildly when you're talking about legendary monsters, mythical monsters, etc., etc. So while I don't necessarily like their depiction of wyverns and their design on dragons, that doesn't mean that you won't, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't. In fact, I would love it if you did, because the wider variety of monsters we get, the better variety of monsters we have for the next generation's lore. I am digressing so much in this video. The point is, if you like RPG games where your decisions matter and you enjoy the writing aspect of quest lines, I'm not confident enough to say that it is the absolute best that I have ever played, but as far as side quest value and lore is concerned, I greatly respect the Witcher franchise. So, all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and I'll catch you next time.